Welcome to another edition of Just Ball. I'm here with PGC President and owner Mano Watsa. So on the subject of coaches, kind of to wrap up our second part here, you guys have a 30-week, am I right? 30-week journey for coaches, and we'll put a link up at the top here in the video as well for that. That'll take you right to that so you can sign up. But it's a free newsletter that you're sending out once every week, kind of videos just to help guide coaches along a journey to familiarize them with what your beliefs are, what you guys want to do with the game as far as teaching leadership, teaching, how to not only coach but teach as well. Just give us some background information on that. And
so coaches can go to pgccoachescircle.com and take 20 seconds to submit their name and email address, and they're all set to go. And coaches will receive our weekly videos, helping them, equipping them to teach the game more effectively at each point through their season, so that they can apply the things that we have studied and implemented as best practices for how to teach the game well and how to increase the stickiness, so the things you do in practice transfer over to a game, and so that so that you're getting the types of results as a coach that you want to see. That's what we help coaches to do. And so we've created this as just a free gift to coaches across the basketball world. We have a few thousand coaches that are receiving it, and it's growing every single day, because it's a free gift, and it really is a gift. TJ Rosine from our team, who heads up our coach development, he's our director of coach development. He's a phenomenally successful coach, former National Coach of the Year. He's coaching down at Emmanuel College in Georgia, and he's created each video right in real time as he's going through his season with his team, and sharing things that coaches can implement the next day in practice. So pgccoachescircle.com.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, and I know some of it's already helped me with my group. With me taking on this JUCO program that's a first-year startup program. They've never had athletics on campus, and they decided they were going to do athletics. And we got a men's basketball team. You bring in 20 guys who have never played together before, and it's a real challenge to create that team concept and bring them all into the same page. And I can tell you, going to the coaches conference and seeing you do your team thing there, I went back immediately and implemented those things.
That's good.
And it's done such a great job bringing those guys together.
That's great.
And the guys that, I will tell you this, the guys that it hasn't brought together as a team concept, you can definitely spot the ones who aren't in it for the team, who are in it for themselves. And so it helps you kind of separate those players that might be a cancer to your program if you keep them around.
So. And for coaches that want even more, they can come take part in and attend one of our PGC Glacier coaching clinics, and we've got that on our website, pgcbasketball.com. But we had over 5,000 coaches attend our coaching clinics this year. We put them on in major markets right across the nation, but that's what we try and help coaches to do. How do they take these different concepts and implement them in a way that can help them be more successful, win more games, but even more than the being more successful and winning more games, to impact players and to leave a legacy.
Sure. We talked at the conference because I made it a point to come seek you out and kind of talk to you about things, and because I was really interested in how your presentation went. And then we got to talking, and you found out that I was with ProShot, and I remember your first comment was, you guys have some really interesting videos. Tell me how you came about to seeing our stuff, and kind of what you think about what it is we're doing with shooting.
I came across your ProShot shooting videos a few years ago, and then I started receiving the emails and subscribed to your YouTube channel, and I was fascinated. And I wasn't just fascinated for how we teach players in our courses, but myself personally. as a basketball player.
Sure.
The limiting factor in my career was my ability to shoot the ball. When I got to the Olympic level and I was attempting to make the squad to compete in the Olympics, to play with Steve Nash for Team Canada in the Sydney Olympics, shooting was the one thing that held me back. And it wasn't from a lack of effort and training and focus. I put up tens of thousands of shots through my years of training. But technique was always an issue for me, and I had a lot of coaches attempt to correct my technique. And when I looked back on my career, I often reflected back, what could I have done differently? What didn't I know?
Right.
And when I started watching your videos, some of the concepts were so simple, but they just made sense.
Yeah.
They made sense.
Yeah.
If I was to throw a dart against a dartboard, I wouldn't throw it like this. I would angle my shoulders forward and get my eye lined up and get everything lined up. And when I heard that in the first video, I thought, wow, I've never heard anyone teach that before. My coach told me to keep my shoulders shoulders straight ahead, my feet facing forward. And there were some things that, while well-meaning, created some biomechanical movements in me that were not natural.
Right.
And so my biomechanical movements, because of kind of this old school mentality.
We refer to that as making a player robotic.
Yes, my shot was
It's very mechanical.
My shot was very mechanical. And after years of being mechanical, it was very tough to try and change it to being fluid.
Sure.
And I had a lot of people try. And so when I watched your videos, it just made me say, where were you guys 20 years ago? But it made me say, wow, I want to help more players be able to understand these concepts, and that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, and excited to be on your show here, because I think your video evidence of pro players and college players, it's so strong.
Sure.
And obviously you know that. So
obviously we'd like to have a lot more footage of high school players, middle school players, elementary players. We've put out a few videos lately of really young players, elementary age players, who shoot like we teach, and they're just knockdown shooters. It's like we'd like to show more of the younger players, but look at how easy it is to go out and grab an NBA video. Look at how easy it is to go out and grab
you're gonna have to
a
get
college age video.
Well, speaking about a high school player, a young kid. His name's Jamal Murray. He's a two-time PGC grad. Grew up in my hometown, and so he's been involved in our programs. And he just signed with Kentucky, and so he's there at Kentucky this fall. And he's got a really bright future ahead of him in the pros. But everything you teach, Jamal does.
Hopefully he'll follow in Carl Towns' footsteps, because Carl Towns, who was a #1 pick this past year, has worked with Coach Hoover and some of our other trainers for years, since he was in 6th, 7th grade.
When you watch Jamal shoot, he shoots a lot like Stefan, and you'll see the things you teach, he does very naturally.
I just think what we talk about is like you said, it's natural. And it's more of an athletic approach to shooting, and not in the sense that I have a little different definition of athleticism than most people do. Just from my background in exercise phys, I look at an athlete, and most coaches, or not even coaches really, most people look at an athlete and go, wow, they're really fast, wow, they're really strong, wow, they can jump really high. And they're doing these physical feats that just astounds people. I look at an athlete and I go, wow, they're so efficient. And so, like, I've much like John Wooden had his definition of success that I think everybody can agree with. My whole thing, when I look at an athlete, I don't look at an athlete as someone who can run fast, bench so many pounds, jump this high, all that kind of stuff. I look at an athlete and I say, athletes are people whose bodies function and perform more efficiently than the average people.
I like that.
Because
you're helping players to do that with
exactly. You look at shooters, and what we want to do. The thing we had, we put out a video about it, Moneyball. But these baseball teams are bringing together this whole Moneyball philosophy, where they're trying to find these guys that have the right amount of stats to build this team that that can go out and perform at a very high level, and they're not out here paying all these superstars. So our thing is, we want to take a player, we want to take a shooter, and we want to give them little tweaks, or maybe it's a complete overhaul, but make them as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
Make them as comfortable as possible. Make them as natural as possible. Because, I mean, you hear it all the time. You'll see a player and somebody will go, well, they have such a natural shot.
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean? To me, it means they look efficient. They look comfortable.
Yeah.
They look like there's no mechanical or robotic jagged movements in their shot. They're very fluid. They're very transitional from one motion to the next, and everything just kind of flows together. And I think that's our ultimate approach to shooting, is we want to make players as natural as we can possibly make them.
I think that's fantastic. I only have one question. Can you
Sure.
help me with my shot?
Absolutely.
Maybe we
we'll
can turn
get
off the
started on that
video
right
halfway
now. I want to thank Mano for being here.
Appreciate it, Matt.
Appreciate you sitting down and taking the
Pleasure's
time
all mine.
with us, and telling us more about you guys at PGC. And hopefully we can have you on again.
Sounds great. Much
All right.
appreciated.
Look forward to it.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.